what's up with Sean Baligian?
What up, this is Joyce Bell here on the Baligian Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hello, friends. How are you? Friday here on the Woodward Sports Network. So glad you could join us. He's Joyce Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. It's not just any Friday. It's
Freestyle Friday. Give me some bars real quick.
You always put me on. You always put me on the spot.
Oh, I got to. Hey, for L time, put it up.
Chilling in the hood with my homies. I'm gonna think of something that rhymes with homie.
Don't be a dummy.
Don't be a domie. Ty Domi. See, I tied it into hockey, right? That's good. You all right?
Check you out.
That's all you're gonna get. Yeah.
Nah, you know what? You surprised me.
I would like an epic rap battle though. That would be fun sometimes because
you gonna bring it back.
No, well, you know what's funny? My kids were really into that, and I would do epic rap battles with them, and it would just make them cry because much like you do, Joik. Like in particular, my son would look at me and go, Dad, you are the most unhip human being that ever walked the face of the planet. I go, I appreciate that, son. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Look at all the good mornings. Jenna, good morning. Richard, good morning. Kenny, good morning.
I can't even see the comments.
Grammy Whammy, good morning.
Good morning, Grammy Whammy. Grammy Whammy, talk to Grandpa. Grandpa called me this morning. Talk to him. Talk to him for me. Let him know I'm coming to work. You know, my grandpa called me. Hey, Morky Moik. You know.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot about that. Hey, I said, Grandpa, I'm getting ready for work. I got to, I'm rushing out. He said, oh, just a second. And, just a second, turning about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. I said, Grandpa, you going to make me late to work? You going to make me late? I got to get dressed.
Aren't they a blessing? Like, honestly, grandparents are such a blessing. It is, oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
My grandfather passed away in 2008. And I'll tell you what, it is. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about just chatting with him or, he had a place in Ontario and we would go fishing on Lake St. Clair. Oh, my gosh, some of the best moments of my life. Like, honest to God, some of the best moments of my life.
Love it. So, did your dad used to take you fishing or your grandpa?
It was more my dad did it a few times, but that was a thing with my grandpa. Like, okay. and then when he was older, he had some health issues, and while my grandma was still alive, they would my grandpa wasn't supposed to drink anymore, right? So then we'd go out on the boat, and magically we'd come back after a fishing trip, and we'd smell like whiskey. And then my grandma would never complain to my grandpa. My grandma would complain to me. You know he's not supposed to drink. Don't. Grandma, we just had a couple of whiskeys, things like that. But it was, oh, my gosh, it was so much fun. It was just that dynamic between them, living their life together that long. It's a beautiful thing. I don't care what anybody says.
I love it. You know what? It's funny because my grandfather is the one who he introduced me to anything that's dealing with nature. Hunting, being the one that go out, you catch the fish, you bring it back, you fillet it. He used to have this electric knife that when we would get a fish, we'll, cut it out and we'll fillet it. And he showed me how to do it on both sides. I said, oh, this is easy. This is easy. Now, when you got to use a manual knife, you got to cut it. It gets a little bit more messy. All right. But, yeah, good times, man.
The thing that I could never understand is.
Hey, no one can call me that, Jenna, but my grandparents. Relax.
The knowledge, that like grandparents have, and like that's what I've always been respectful of that. Like the whole respect your elders thing.
Always.
1000%. They've seen and done things that we just haven't experienced, and it's like, listen when they talk. Like seriously, like listen. The education. My grandfather educated me on so many different things in life. It's beautiful.
And as kids, we don't really appreciate it until we get a little bit older.
No.
Because when you're younger,
You don't get it.
you're just naive, and you're just not at that space to be able to sit back and gain that wisdom. I used to sit back and I listen to my grandfather talk about his times with his friends, about how they go up hunting and how they, they'll get a buck and they gut it right then and there and they put it on a car. He tells me stories about all these different adventures he'll have, and I love it. Sit back and do it all the time.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to start with the J.J. Watt stuff in case you missed it. About an hour ago, J.J. Watt had asked for his release. This is my buddy Darren. Hi, Darren. J.J. Watt had asked for his release, and it was granted.
It was mutually agreed upon.
The first mutually agreed upon. There's that comment again.
Mutual.
I want to get your take in a couple different ways on this. Not only the J.J. Watt aspect, but how this relates to Deshaun Watson. Because the first thing that went through my mind is Deshaun Watson's got to be sitting there going, "What the hell? What the hell?" I think it's different. I'll explain after we hear from J.J. Watt. And Joik, I also have a very strong belief when a man walks into my office and tells me he wants out of here, I have a very strong belief on how you should react to that. And I'll tell you about it after we hear from the man himself, who wanted Texans fans to hear it from him first. And in case you haven't heard it, here is J.J. Watt in a message to Texan fans.
I wanted to do this on video as opposed to putting out a statement or doing a press conference or anything like that, because I want you guys to hear it directly from me. I want to speak directly to you and the city of Houston so you can hear the words straight from my mouth. I have sat down with the McNair family and I have asked them for my release, and we have mutually agreed to part ways at this time. I came here 10 years ago as a kid from Wisconsin who'd never really been to Texas before. And now I can't imagine my life without Texas in it. The way that you guys have treated me, besides draft night, I mean, you guys booed me on draft night, but every day after that, you treated me like family. And I truly feel like you're my family. Since that day, I have tried to do everything in my power to work and earn your respect and try and make you proud on and off the field. You guys have given me everything and more, and I can only hope that you feel like I've given you everything I have. The city of Houston's been unbelievable to me. It's where I met my wife. It's where I've met lifelong friends and my teammates. I've had incredible coaches and training staff and equipment staff and cafeteria workers and the weight room staff and the front office people and people on the streets, people in restaurants and grocery stores and showing up at my house. The connection is special, and I will never, ever take that for granted because I know how rare it is. I'm excited and looking forward to a new opportunity, and I've been working extremely hard. But at the same time, it is always tough to move on. And I just want you guys to know that I love you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the McNair family for giving me, drafting me and giving me my first opportunity in the NFL. Thank you, Houston. I love you.
Great stuff. No, I appreciate that heartfelt everything, okay? I mean, and you can't blame a guy like that. Why go through a rebuild? I mean, we can relate to that in a certain regard here. Joik, as a guy who played in the league, I have always felt this way. If Joik Bell or J.J. Watt or T.J. Watt or Matthew Stafford walk into your office and I'm the general manager and he says, I need a change of scenery, I'm out. At that point in time, you already have one foot out the door of my franchise. I will do everything I can to accommodate you to the benefit of me. I will. I like, to be honest with you, at that point in time, and I know this sounds like a jerk, but it's a business. At that point in time, we are mutually agreed. I don't want you part of my franchise. I don't at that point in time. But I'm going to look you in the eye and I'm going to treat you like a man. I'm going to say, Joik, I'm going to do everything I can to accommodate your deal, okay? But you have to understand I'm not just going to give you away. I have to think about my club. I have to think about my team. I have to think about the other 52 guys in that locker room, okay?
Yeah.
So even if that means, like, if 3 months pass by and you and I have a conversation, hey, Sean, I appreciate you treating me like a man about this. How's it going?
Hold on. While we're going through this, Art, can you pull up his contract as well when it expires? Good, continue.
Joik, listen, I'm doing my best, but we're hamstrung right now. The best offer I have just isn't good enough, man. It just isn't good enough. I don't know what to tell you. I would love to accommodate your requests, but I'm not just going to give you away. You know, I think, Joik, I think you're worth more than a second-round pick to us. I do. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'll do everything I can to accommodate you, but I'm not going to screw the other 52 guys
funny,
in that room.
And you know what? You know what's crazy? That a person can come in undrafted and be traded for a high draft pick. Now, when it's time to give me away, now we're worth a little bit more.
Isn't that amazing how that works out?
It's amazing how it works, right?
Yeah.
And that's the point of how the NFL can write their own narrative on you.
Yeah.
And write their value on you. Now, some players, some guys, you just can't hide it. And it's the saying we have in NFL: you can't hide talent. You can't hide it. So regardless of where you were drafted, undrafted, first round, you cannot hide talent. And really quick, what was his so
JJ signed a 6-year, $100 million contract with the Houston Texans and includes a $10 million signing bonus. He signed that in 2014.
Right.
Later. Like, honestly, at that point, I mean, really, later.
So his contract is basically up already.
Later. See you later. Bye. Yeah. I'm going to do everything I can to accommodate that deal.
So his contract is up. So it's not even as if, I mean, he can leave if he wanted to. Right? He can leave.
I don't know what the exact particulars are, because for them to release him, that tells me that there were plans to have him around. So now they're just saying, screw you. I mean, that's what that's – I don't know what the exact particulars are.
At the end of the day, that's J.J. Watt. He's going to find a home somewhere. And now the Detroit Lions need to be on the phone with his agent. Hey, we need to get him up here for a visit. We got to get him here. But he's not going to leave there. He's not going to leave
to come here
to do a rebuild. No, he's not going to do that, because at this point in his career, it's not even about the money. All right? You get to a point in your career where, we talked about it yesterday, I have enough money. I have enough money to pay a king's ransom, right? What he wants now, he wants to win. He's kind of in the same predicament as a Tom Brady, right? I wouldn't say Tom Brady. I would say a Matthew Stafford. He's been with an organization that's been trying to work their way up for quite some time, and they just couldn't figure it out, and now it's time to move on. Right. And so what team can he go to right now and be successful and be a winner and be that missing piece to help to win a championship?
Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Cleveland. Teams like that. Seriously,
you think Pittsburgh? I don't think Pittsburgh. I would say Green Bay before Pittsburgh. I wouldn't say.
I think you have to include Pittsburgh in there only because obviously his brother's there. And, how close is Pittsburgh to a championship? That can be debated. There's no, to your point, absolutely. Yeah. But the fact that, they're a good team and his brother's there, is that a calling card? I think so. I think that's something that you can't just dismiss. Right. But you're right. In terms of winning a championship, I would put Pittsburgh down. Hell, I was bashing on Pittsburgh when they were 11-0.
Yeah, you think he goes to like a team? Nah. No, I don't
Green
like
Bay? Like Steve said, he wants a ring.
Bay. I would say Green Bay out of all teams.
Yeah, go back to Wisconsin.
Green Bay would be ideal for him.
Yeah.
And he's that type of guy. He's the type of guy that when he signed his $100 million contract, the first thing he did? He went in Yahoo
Buy a smoker?
or Google. He went on Yahoo or Google and typed in, what do rich people do? He didn't even know what to do with all that money. Give me a call. I'll let you know what to do with it. We can talk about it. But that's how much money he has. And at this point, it's not about the money. Him going back home to Wisconsin, going to his beloved home state and playing for a team he probably grew up loving, right? And then bringing a championship to that team.
Yeah.
Childhood dream.
Yeah.
Childhood dream.
And look, this is
surreal, full circle.
This is the position that every player yearns to be in as well, where he gets to call his own number now. He still has game left. This isn't a guy going on a farewell tour. He still has game left. And
it'd be an impact player.
What player doesn't want to be in that position? all right, I got my money. I got my bank account set. I've made some good investments. I'm cool for the next 3 lifetimes, okay? Now I can go someplace, make some more coin, and be in a position, I mean, that's what every guy dreams for. I'm going to give you an example only because it pops in my head, and hockey fans might know this. Steve Yzerman, when he was general manager of Tampa, had a high draft choice by the name of Jonathan Drouin, who was not being utilized the way that he felt he should be utilized. So he asked Steve Yzerman for a trade, and Steve Yzerman said, I'm going to do my best to accommodate you, and then in essence held on to him for a year and a half. And it was for that exact same reason. Look, Joik, the cruel reality of this is it's a business. Unless you get a deal that helps your club out, no offense to you, Joik, I'm not going to do you any favors, man. It has to make sense for me. Right. Like, there are people saying, for example, oh, the Lions did Matthew Stafford a solid. Did they? Or was it a great deal for the Lions?
It was a great deal for the
It
Lions.
was a great deal. So this was one of those unique situations where it looks like they did a solid for Matthew Stafford, but if the Rams...
No, it doesn't look that way. It looks like they got every bit of what he was worth, and it benefits the team. That's what it looks like.
That's what it should look like. But at the end of the day, if their deal was less than...
It doesn't always work out that way,
Exactly. If their deal was less than, I would tell them they were number one. I would. Not this finger, though. I would literally look at the Rams and go, hey, you're really cute. And I know Matthew has a house out there, and boy, that would work really good. But we're not a charity case. We're trying to make the Detroit Lions Football Club the best we can. And I'm not dealing with spite when I say that, okay?
Right.
What's the best deal to come my way? That's the deal that I want. That's the deal that I want. And, it can be debated. Maybe, there are some people, well, the alleged Washington football team deal was better. I think the Lions got a damn good deal, and I'm coal with it.
And what was the Washington football team deal?
There are a couple different rumors out there. You know why I hate talking about it? I'll tell you why I hate talking about it.
What was up in the air?
That it was a first-round pick. It was a first-round pick and then another first-round pick later. The same kind of deal that Brugler made about this draft pick this year. Remember we talked about that yesterday where Brugler said Lions make a deal with the Washington football team. They get 18. They get a third-round pick this year, and they get the Washington football team's number 1 next year. It was something like that. But the problem is when you hear things like that, I got to be honest with you, I don't know what's true and what is alleged. Does that make sense? Right. Unless I hear it from the team themselves, I'm not sure I'm buying it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm buying it.
It makes sense. He has a house already out there.
Exactly.
It worked out for him.
Yeah.
He didn't see this. I mean, it was destined.
You know what?
It was destined.
Keith brought up the point, and this is what we wanted to get to. Shout out to Keith. He said, it's amazing how they let him go, but Watson, no soup for you. Can I tell you why?
Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson is a quarterback. He is a young quarterback. I am going to play hard line as hard as I can. That exact same circumstance that we just described with Deshaun Watson. Now, the difference between how Houston is running and how I am running, or how I would run it, is I would tell Deshaun, I'm going to do everything I can to make your wish come true. I am, okay? But I'm not going to do it to the detriment of my football team. The difference is Houston's just saying, you're not going anywhere, bro. You're not going anywhere. I don't want a guy that has one foot out the door, Joik. I really don't. I think, in my opinion, and we can all talk about guys being professional, and we can talk about, and there's obviously validity to that, you're also a human being. If you're playing someplace you don't want to be, okay, that's a factor. That is an absolute factor. I don't care what anybody says.
Period.
And so the difference between the way that Houston is approaching this and the way I would approach it is, I wouldn't give Deshaun Watson and what his value is away. I wouldn't say, we're going to drop you, Deshaun. I would tell Deshaun, I'm going to do everything I can to trade you. Really, I am. I'm going to do everything I can. But you have to understand, Deshaun, that your value is up here. And I'm not giving away that value. It's just not happening. Where J.J. Watt's value is here, Deshaun Watson's value is I can't reach that high. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference here. But for me, I would flat out tell Deshaun Watson, I'm going to make a deal. I just want you to know I'm not making a deal unless we get the kind of deal that the Rams and the Lions consummated and then some.
And I'll tell you this. You are absolutely right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let a player of that caliber go for pennies. I just can't do it. I know you're not happy here. We want you to be happy. We want to be happy. But there's so much going on in that franchise now that they just need to clean house. They need to clean house. They need to get a deal done for D. Watt. And I think the best teams for him to go to now and be successful, that I think a team that will fit him will be the same team that I like for Matthew Stafford, the Washington football team. And I'm pretty sure there's probably some type of deal that's going to be done in the future for Deshaun Watson with that team. If not them, the Colts, these are the teams that they need this one piece. And the Washington football team, they need a few more pieces. But for the most part, they're a solid football team. Now, their record didn't show it, but they did make the playoffs, and they made a good run with a third-string quarterback in the playoffs where they were hanging in there with I think that game was better than the Super Bowl to me.
JJ has 1 year remaining. He was set to be a UFA in 2022. You have to remember the difference between, number one, the positions that they play.
What was his salary?
Give me just a second, okay?
And the thing
talk
is,
amongst yourselves.
And that's the thing, though. That's the thing with NFL contracts, that when you get on the you want to get most of your money. You want to get the lump sum in the first 2 to 3 years of your NFL contract.
He did.
He did.
And he restructured. He had a base salary going into this season of $17.5 with a cap hit of $17.5, but he got since he restructured twice before, he got some money. He definitely got some money.
Right. So he got his money, and so now he's on the tail end of his career.
You ready? 30.87 guaranteed. That was his money. He got 30.87.
He's set. He's fine.
Absolutely.
He's fine.
So I mean, and I hope people can understand that.
It's probably 17, 18.
I hope people can understand the difference. How much football does J.J. Watt have, considering how much he's banged up? A couple of years.
If J.J. Watt is the type of guy that if he wanted to, he can probably play another 5 more years.
Okay, all right, fine. That position, that player, age 31, versus the most important position in football, a quarterback, and a guy who is dynamic. Deshaun's dynamic. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah, true.
So at that point in time, if I'm 1 year away from him being a UFA, and I know that he's out of here anyway, later, we don't want you here.
You know what that team remind me of? You have Deshaun Watson. We had Matthew Stafford. They had J.J. Watt. We had Ndamukong Suh. Mm-hmm. They had Hopkins. We had Calvin. Similar game plan. Same results. Couldn't win. Made it to the playoffs a couple times. It was cute.
I'd like to hear you say that.
Yeah, it was cute. But it was cute, you know. But they cannot win a championship with that game plan.
Yeah.
You have to build a team. They haven't done that. They haven't done it. And so now with them letting go of Watt, them working out some type of deal for Watson, it's going to free up some cap space, some salary cap space, and they can go out there and they can start rebuilding. But where do you start?
Yeah.
My biggest concern will be the trenches. After the quarterback spot, go get the quarterback you can bring in to start to rebuild around, and then start in the trenches.
He's educating. Listen to that. He's educating right now.
Yeah, it's true. Again, I'm telling you, a good front four can make a secondary look very good. All right, and a great front five on the offensive line can make a quarterback look like a Hall of Famer. All right, if you look at the way that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to put pressure with just a front four on Patrick Mahomes, they made him look normal. Right, they made him look mortal. And he's been looking immortal this entire season. They were able to get the pressure on him, and they got him uncomfortable. And that's what you have to do with quarterbacks like that. But just goes to show you how important the trenches are. That when you have a front five that is kind of shaky, it can take a Pro Bowler and make him look like a third-string quarterback.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I've seen a lot of people say they should have tried to get a pick for J.J. Watt. In my opinion, I think the solid that the Texans did was to say, all right, we're going to release you. That's the solid they did. Could they have gotten a pick for J.J. Watt? Probably. You know, I mean, a fifth, a fourth, whatever the case may be. I think the solid that they did is say, you've given us 10 years. You've given so much to our community. I mean, who can forget all that money he raised during those, horrible floods down there and everything. Behind him. I think the solid that the McNairs did down there was to say, we could probably get a fourth or fifth for you or something like that.
No, they get higher than that.
But yeah, of course. But we're just going to let you go. And that's the difference. The difference between a guy 1 year removed from his contract and Deshaun who's locked up it's immeasurable. And especially the position that they play, it's immeasurable. So to me, I would tell Deshaun Watson, this is the difference between me and the McNairs, though. I would have told him day one when he said he wanted out, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to do everything I can to grant you your wish. I can't guarantee that it's going to happen. It depends what the market is for you. But especially if some of the stuff that you're hearing, like about Carson Wentz and the deal that Matthew Stafford brought in,
right.
If I'm Houston, I'm going, all right, we're going to suck. Why don't we just suck for the next couple of years and finally get all our draft picks back that our horrible general manager gave away in Bill O'Brien?
Yeah, speaking of sucking, we're up against a break. But listen, Anthony Lynn won 7 games last year with a rookie quarterback. Let's talk about that when we come back.
All right, we can do that. Definitely. Don't you go anywhere. By the way, I want to tell you about our friends at Grow Green, okay? Can I do that? With the average price for an ounce at Michigan recreational dispensaries coming in at $300, why don't you just grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down up to 36 ounces each harvest. Do the math, and then go see our guys at Grow Green. They have everything you need to start growing today and the knowledge to make sure that you crush it. Make sure you mention Woodward Sports for a free T-shirt. We're going to talk Anthony Lynn. We're going to talk about Disson of D2. Don't you go anywhere. He's Joik Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. This is Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hi. How are you? Are you having a good Friday? This is one of those weeks, I got to be honest with you, I'm not a TGIF guy, all right? Because, I'm very happy with my life. I got to be honest with you.
It's not, so this is Friday to you. It's not a Friday.
Oh, now I'm intrigued. What is a Friday?
Like, yay, it's Friday. So instead of Friday.
I'm happy it's Friday, so maybe it's a little Friday today.
Yeah, Friday.
This was just one of those weeks.
It's always good to go home on the weekend and recoup and recharge and spend time with the family. So I enjoy it.
I thought you said fried egg for a second. I was like, do you know what I'd do to an overhard? Oh, my gosh, just get that bagel.
Yeah, I have this cute. So what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Nothing.
Just another day?
Watching hockey.
I have a cute little thing I'm doing with my daughter, having a nice little dinner.
Aww.
It'll be cute.
For real?
Yeah, it's going to be cute.
All right, so you know what the difference is? My wife and I, you know, it's been a long time. Like, we both just kind of do the same thing. Are we doing anything this year? You want to go out to dinner? Not really. Okay, cool. Let's chill out. I mean, it's been years, you know, and stuff like that. Right? I mean, that's just... I give her the option. I mean, I'm getting cards and stuff like that. I'm doing little things like that.
Oh, my God.
And my daughter's at that age right now.
Where's the flame, Sean? Where's the flame?
In Calgary. But my
where are the flames?
They're in Calgary.
Even though your wife says, you know, we can just chill out today. She really wants you to do something.
I'm dumb. I'm not that dumb.
She wants you to do something special. I'm not that dumb.
We're not doing anything this year. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to go pick something up. Yeah, that would go over well.
So give me some tips. What would you do?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking.
You're asking the wrong guy. I think you know that. All right. The first thing I do is I made a video one year.
What's your love language?
I made a video of the dogs rapping. I did. I made a video. Do you want to see the video of the dogs rapping?
Yeah.
I have a video of the dogs rapping. They rapped for Mama. And so I made a video of the dogs rapping. Now, if that doesn't seal the deal and make for a wonderful night of lovemaking, I don't know what does, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I did that. You know what? I get a nice card. I write a heartfelt note in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really do. I don't just go, hey, happy Valentine's Day. You write a heartfelt note, all that crap, and then you just go about your day. I don't know.
Heartfelt.
Yeah.
Heartfelt.
I don't get a heart-shaped pizza, because that's my pizza. Why would I? She's not going to eat any of that. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm sitting there eating the heart-shaped pizza. So no, just
okay.
It's been, you know, years ago. It was the makeup sweetest day.
Hey.
Right there's sweetest day, and then Valentine's Day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, please, the watchers in the comment section, just write down what one of the guys, write down one of your Valentine experience. Give us your best one, or give us your worst one, your worst Valentine. I can't remember what my best one was.
I don't know.
I have a good one. I have a good one.
We went skating one year.
You went skating one year?
Yeah. I took her to the outdoor place, and
even when you was younger, you didn't do any courting, like on Valentine.
Oh yeah, that's so long ago though.
So you don't remember what you did?
Hell no.
I remember my best one. I remember it was good too.
That's see, Joy. Here's the difference. Okay, like seriously, like the whole courting thing is like 25, 30 years ago. You know, I mean, it's. I mean, there's just no other way to say that.
It's just like how these teams get these players to come in free agency and say, listen, you court them. Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. And then, 5 years down the line, it's just, what do we do again? What do we do? You know what, man? Let's just part ways. Yeah. You want to be released? All right.
No, I'm smart. You have to, like, honestly, since you brought this up, you always have to make a big deal about birthday. Mm-hmm. There's a different dynamic. We talked about this yesterday with Terry Foster. By the way, happy birthday, Terry. He's like me. I don't care. I don't want any of you to know my birthday. It's just another day. I don't care. But you have to make a big deal about birthday, and you have to make a big deal about anniversary. Those are the 2 days that you have to hit those days.
Yeah,
you have to hit those days.
You got to hit the mark.
Yes.
You got to hit the mark. I understand. Hey, my mom just chimed in. Love the word courting. It's been lost in translation.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it has.
Yeah.
It has.
Yeah. Mom, what was your favorite? My mom put out a post the other day about her favorite Valentine. It was like a Valentine challenge. So she put a picture of her and my dad of every Valentine's they had for the past, 11, 12 years. They always do sentimental stuff like that.
I said, do you want to go out to dinner? And she was like, not really. And I go, okay, cool. I mean, that was the extent of it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll figure something out. Mm-hmm. Lynn said Valentine's is overrated Hallmark holiday. We do not do anything. That's kind of the way we both feel.
And every holiday.
I didn't realize that she really felt that way. Holiday. Joy, this goes back to what you were like. What they say and what they do oftentimes are a test. At least that's what I found.
Yeah.
That's a test, and I've failed many tests. So, like, over the years, I continued to make a big deal about Valentine's Day, and then, like, she kept saying, it's not, like, this isn't. So, one year, I really slow-played it, and I found out she wasn't lying. Like, it didn't mean anything to her. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But you have to do something. You have to do something, right?
Right.
You know, I might say, I got myself a big piece of pulled pork, and what's more romantic than smoking that pulled pork for 15 hours? I don't know. That might be the romance for the day.
It is. Look at that.
It is for me.
That's your love language. Cooking food.
Dreamy.
Acts of service.
It's gonna be dreamy.
Acts of service. Okay,
right?
Check you out. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Anthony Lynn wins 7 games, and then is fired. You know what though? I think their logic there, because 2 out of the 4 seasons he was there, he had 2 winning seasons, correct?
I believe so.
2 out of 4 winning seasons.
Yes.
They had the same mentality that we had here in Detroit. Having a winning record is not good enough, right? is just not good enough. But when you come in, you can win games with a rookie quarterback coming in. That speaks volume because it's hard to win games in the NFL. And everyone all know that the number one position that's leading the team is the quarterback position.
1,000.
Right? So to be able to sit there and kind of mold this young quarterback, mold this young man to help take your team to 7 victories speaks volume. So bringing him here, I think that was a great pick. That was a sleeper pickup for us as well. I still think Deuce Staley might be the biggest sleeper of them all that we were able to pick up. You know, that's my guy, so I'm going to go with him. But
he's winning the people over. Some of his, you seeing the love he's getting on Twitter, man?
No.
People are loving Deuce. You know,
Deuce the man. Deuce is the man, bro. We're going to get Deuce on the show.
Good.
I'm going to reach out to Deuce and I'm going to get Deuce on the show.
I'm
gonna try to get a few of the coaches to come on the show because it's great. Even Phip. I know I've talked to players who they live and die by Phip. He's a great coach. I play with him. You know, he does great things. He's a great motivator. He knows what he's doing. The players will play for him. So now you have not only the head coach that the players are going to play for, but now you have position coaches that players want to play for. That's the culture we need to continue to build here. Because now you're playing for, not only are you playing for the head coach, the position coaches, but now you're playing for not only just the fans, right? Because once you come into the city, the Detroit pulls you in. It sucks you in.
Truth.
You know,
Truth.
I moved here 16 years ago. I never left. Sucked me in. I love it. I tell people, they're like, you'll never leave Detroit. No, why? Why? This is home. Now, it's nothing like I've been around the world, Sean. There's nothing like Detroit. I love it. So,
you know my feeling.
The people are organic, they're real, and that's what I get when people come into the city who's never been before. The people are so genuine, they're so nice, and we have a bad stigma around the country. But come to Detroit and see how it really is.
When I was a kid, I could not wait to get the hell out of here. I'm not joking.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of those kids at 17 years old. There was no way in hell I was going to be in Detroit. My plan back then was the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, seriously, right? Mm-hmm. There's no way in hell I'm ever leaving here. And I've had opportunities to go other places, really good career opportunities, including making my boyhood dream come true and all. Mm-hmm. I'm not going anywhere.
You know what it is?
I don't want to.
Home is where the heart is.
No, it's absolutely true. Especially like my kids now have their roots here. Why would I do that?
And with everything that's going on in the city right now, why would you want to leave? The city is being revitalized, is being renovated. Businesses are coming into the city now. You have more restaurants opening up. You have more entrepreneurs coming into the city. It's getting to a point now where I need to get some more real estate downtown.
All right, can I ask you something when you're a little older though? Because this is not too far in my future. I think I've mentioned this to you before. Yeah. Are you going to be here year round? There's no way in hell I'm going to be here year round in a few years. It's just no way.
What is it? Is it snowbird? Winterbird?
Yeah, I'm going to be one of those guys.
Yeah, I'll be that.
Yeah.
I'll for sure do that.
No way in Hades.
I'll do that. But I will not miss. There's no way I would spend summers anywhere else besides Michigan. Michigan is gorgeous. In the summertime. And people don't understand.
Joy, do you know what my season is? The fall. There is no way in hell I'm anywhere else other than in the fall in this state. Like, for me, I know you can relate to this. I absolutely love, I miss your noon games at Wayne State. You know they don't do that anymore. I love that leaving my house at 9 o'clock in the morning and driving down to Tom Adams Field in October. It's beautiful. The colors, all that stuff, the smell in the air, it's absolutely beautiful. It's like, I'm not going to get that anyplace else, man. Yeah, right? I'm not going to get that anyplace else. So I agree with you. And there have been a lot of athletes, I'm not going to name names, that have said the exact same thing. I wasn't sure when I got traded here, when I got drafted here. But take a look at how many guys stayed here. This is now home to them. And not for everybody, because there are other guys that, their hometown, that poll was just too much to turn down. And I'm not going to – you do what's best for you, man. I'm not in the habit of telling people what they should and should not do. But it is amazing to me how many guys had that opportunity to do that. It's amazing to me. And it's, that came here exactly like you said and said, nah, this is home now.
This is home now. And come here to Wayne State, my beloved Wayne State, the school that I've grown to love, school that I was able to go to and do my undergrad and my grad, and there's a lot of respect, right? It has a culture there. It has a prestige, right? And for people who don't know about Wayne State, let me tell you about Wayne State, all right? You like that little segue?
You are something else.
Something.
You are such a freaking pro now.
You like that, huh?
I do like that now.
Let me tell you about Wayne State. Mm-hmm. Wayne State gives opportunity for kids in areas like, say, Detroit. You graduate from DPS, any DPS school will give you a free scholarship. That's the type of university Wayne State is. Regardless of D1, D1AA, D2, we give kids an opportunity from poverty areas to come here and get an education. That's what we do here at Wayne State. And for people who don't know about Wayne State, Dave, what's his name? Portnoy?
I don't pay attention to him.
Dave Portnoy?
There are certain guys in the media, before you get riled up, there are certain guys in the media I just don't pay attention to because they want you to.
Yeah.
And there's a former writer in town. His name rhymes with Tob Tarker. That I just don't pay any attention to think that anything comes out of his mouth. He stopped reporting a long time ago. Why would I pay attention?
He
to
could
him?
talk about me. I don't mind that. Say what you want to say about me. But when you talk about my Wayne State University, when you talk about my Wayne State, that's why I had to step in. All right? Saying that I don't know.
I don't. Clip? I can play the clip.
Play the clip. All right, play the clip. And I want you guys to listen to this.
All right, well, let's go. All right. Spider piece review time. Pie side, Detroit. Still in Detroit. Jacket's cold as hell. It's cold as hell. Someone made it and gave it to me. It's fire, right? It's cold as hell. I know. But it is cold as hell. Fucking right it is. In the shadows, a beautiful Wayne State. That must be the baseball field. Must be the football field over there. And we're here. So, and by the way, I looked it up. We thought Wayne State was Division I for a second. It's not. I don't know what it is, but they play like fake schools. No offense. If you're not D1, you're fake to me. One bite every another rules pie side. A lot of people said to try this. So, here it is.
You know what's crazy about that? Listen to that. If you look in the video, you see all that construction that's going on right there? That's the Detroit Pistons building their G League arena right on Wayne State campus. They have their practice facility right on Wayne State campus, right? What professional teams at U of M? And this is not a shot at U of M because he went to U of M. And he studied education. Judging by how he's talking about our university, I couldn't tell. I can't tell, all right? So for him to come to our city and talk about the university, which is the only college or collegiate football team in all of Metro Detroit, it's disrespectful. As if he doesn't know Wayne State produces NFL players. And that's a shot at all D2 players. This is a shot at, he said that if you're not playing D1, it's fake. So Walter Payton, is he fake? Huh? Did he go to D1, or was that D1AA? Or was it D2 at the time?
I don't remember where it was.
He played D2.
Yeah.
Walter Payton played D2. The school, after he left, ended up turning D1AA. So you're spitting in some of the Hall of Famers' face. Shannon Sharp, Division II. So you mean to tell me that there's no great Division II players? It's fake football, right? It's fake. Shut your ass up. Fuck out of here. Yeah, man.
Was Jackson State D1 at the time or D2? I don't know. And same thing with Mississippi Valley, right?
Yeah, it was when he played with
Jerry
D2.
Rice.
Like, so when I got the Harlan Hill Trophy, Shannon Sharp was there speaking, and he was the one I believe, who said my name when I won. He was doing his acceptance speech because he was going to the D2 Hall of Fame. And so, yes, he played D2. What's up?
Here's my question. You come to Detroit to showcase pizza and donate some money to local businesses. That's great. Then you shit on the legacy of Wayne State and the legacy of NFL players and athletes across the state. I don't get that. Like, listen, if you're going to come here and pay homage, that's one thing. But I know some people like Trick who have kicked people out of the city for less. So I definitely watch your mouth and watch what you
man.
say.
Hey, man, don't make us put a no-fly zone on you. Don't do it. Don't do it. You know, and you already on, you already canceled for your comments about Colin Kaepernick, about how he was a terrorist, all these different things that people, come on now. You come here and you run your mouth about my university? Man, get out of my city, bro. Sean, why you laughing? Get out of my city, bro.
Can I tell you why?
I respect him coming here and helping out the small businesses, and I respect that. I'm not getting on you about that. I respect that. I'm gonna pay homage to that. But when you come here and you talk about my university, nah, man, we can't let that slide.
Dude is wildly popular. Like, there are people out there, and there are probably people watching us right now that like love Dave Portnoy. Okay, I mean, that's just the way it is. And Joik, just one man's opinion. He is part.
Sorry, Mom.
He is part of the new media, where when I can't tell if what you're saying is real or you're trying to get a response from people, I just check out. I don't pay attention to you anymore. And I'll use your line as well. No disrespect.
No
disrespect.
No.
I don't pay attention to you. I don't pay attention to Tom Tarker.
No.
I don't pay attention to people. When
I said what I said.
You're just trying to incite people. So why am I going to pay attention
respectfully.
to you? Yep.
Disrespectfully.
Mm-hmm.
I said what disrespectfully.
Oh, you're saying it disrespectfully. All right.
Yeah, disrespectfully.
I like being a swarmy ass and just telling no disrespect. Like, somehow no disrespect is going to change things. No disrespect. I don't enjoy his stuff.
Someone had just commented and said that maybe Portnoy was uninformed and didn't, do the work on the city or research. Well, then don't come here.
Then he's not a sports person.
Then don't
comment.
To me,
no, don't comment. Come here, but don't comment.
Don't come here.
But to me, that's the point.
I did the research on Wayne State. I thought it was D1, but I guess it's D2. Well, let me tell you about Wayne State. Wayne State is the biggest Division II in the country, right? The third biggest school in Michigan. You have MSU, Michigan, then Wayne State. We're big in the Central, Eastern, Grand Valley, list goes on, Western University. We're bigger than all those schools.
You guys rip on me all the time for being a geek, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's fine. That's okay. That's my job, right? Be informed. That's why I don't pay attention to you. You're not informed. You're trying to incite people. You're not going to incite me because I'm not going to watch what you do. I'm happy you gave a friend of mine a high pizza rating. That was pretty cool, and it's been good for business. Shout out to Freddie. But I take one bite of a pizza. I take hundreds of bites of pizzas, you jackass. Yeah. Like to me, it's like Joik, I feel you. I hope you understand. Yeah. I'm right there with you, and I have a lot of Wayne State pride.
This is what it is.
I don't want to give the guy what he wants.
This is what, and let me give you a close comparison. This guy walks in your house.
Yep.
Goes in your refrigerator. Don't even wash his hands during a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't see him putting any hand sanitizer on his hand before he took a bite of that pizza. Walks in your house, go in your refrigerator, take your beer. It's after Thanksgiving. You got some leftovers in there. He takes the last of the dressing, the last of the greens. Mm-hmm. My favorite, the yams and mac and cheese.
Don't you take my blue cheese.
You hear me? Warms it up in your microwave with no napkin over it, no cover. It's everywhere in the microwave. Take it out, sit in your seat, lean back in your lazy boy, eat your food, get up, smack you, and say, hold up, before I go, let me give you some money real quick for your trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it.
He wouldn't say that to you, though. He wouldn't come here and say that it's school not worth paying attention to. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Do your research before you comment, man. Do your research. And what you saw.
Do you see me having Joik's back right now? I hope you guys realize, I'm putting myself on the line for you right now. I hope you understand that.
No,
they're gonna come after the little guy. Me, come get it.
I'd like to see you get on the mat with that guy. And then Rip Rayless, we could include him. I refuse to say that guy's name. It rhymes with Rip Rayless. I mean, there are people like that in the media today that I don't take anything they say seriously anymore.
Yeah.
I don't.
Mess?
I wouldn't turn on Rip Rayless show if my life depended on it. I'm being very serious. Sean, you have two choices right now. You have to turn on Rip Rayless or you're going to die. And I'm going to go, I'm going fishing with Grandpa in 5 minutes.
Yo, it's everybody can get it Friday.
That's the first thing I do when I get to heaven, man.
Yeah, you know what?
Like everybody's
going to
go, Sean, and I'm going to go, Grandpa and I are going fishing.
Yeah.
Later.
You hear me out. You know why it was Friday for me? Because I can come here, and I had this on my heart all night. I got this last night. And I couldn't wait to get in here and talk about this. I couldn't wait. You know what? I'm going to go back to my beloved, and I'm going to go back to that pizza spot, and I'm going to I'm going to call up Fred, tell Fred I'm coming back. I'm coming through.
That's good pie, by the way. That right there next to Woodbridge.
Yeah, Woodbridge Pub. Yeah.
I've been in Woodbridge a few times.
A few times?
Just a few times.
Just a few times?
Just a few times.
I couldn't afford it in college, so.
You know what? Hey, can I make amends? Can I buy you a drink at Woodbridge sometime?
Yeah.
Let's do that after a game.
They got some virgin drinks there.
Yeah.
Give me a little mocktail.
Absolutely, we can do that. Go grab
said,
one
I
of
see
their
you are laughing at you.
I got you.
Yeah. So, really quick.
I think, you know what, somebody brought up, Steve said Colin Cowherd. I feel he's toned down a bit. You know what I'll say about Colin? I think Colin does his homework. I don't agree with his opinions very often. I just don't.
But at least he does his research.
I respect guys today, the new media, is I'm just going to say something because I can say something. I don't have to back it up factually. I'm just going to do that to incite. And that's, I personally, I call people like that whores, and I think that's disrespectful
to say it. He knew what he was doing.
Look, he wants his clicks.
Right, he wants his clicks. He got his attention.
That's why he's a whore.
But it's a no-fly zone too. Like
slore.
Yeah.
There's certain things you shouldn't say in another man's backyard.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And especially now while
we're giving him what he wants, and that's what depresses me about this.
Let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about Stafford and what he's doing for the community when we come back. We're up against a break. So when we come back, let's talk about Stafford.
Are we late for a break? We are late for a break, aren't we? Yeah. Gee, what a shocker on this show.
Always
He's Joik Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. You want to throw it to break? You throw it to break.
No, you got it.
Oh, my God. Somebody make a decision.
This is Woodward Sports. Kevin said, I don't watch Sharp or Rayless or Stephen A. or Fake Fellerman, none of those. You take the side, I take this side. No, that's it. It's so contrived. It's not, again, I'm an old school guy. I get that my media business has moved in that direction. That's why, quite frankly, in the last 8 years of my life, I've made a lot of the career decisions that I've made. I don't want to be a part of that. If you want to have legitimate conversation about sports, I'm in. Count me in. I'm a nerd. Okay? I'm not going to say things just to be contrary. I'm not going to say things to try to piss off people. And if I do say something that pisses you off, you bet your ass I'm going to back it up with fact. Because facts are mean. And that's why sometimes when people get mad at me, that's what I say. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me personally? Or are you mad at the situation that I described to you? Because everything that I'm going to say, I'm going to back it up with fact, man. And so it's your choice. Do you want to get mad at me? Or do you want to get mad at the circumstances that I described? And I know how people are, and that's fine. I mean, we joke about it all the time. I'm totally cool with being the quote-unquote villain. Am I being a villain? Or am I shooting straight? Because this town is full of a lot of people that everything is awesome. The Legoland song plays. Everything is awesome. Hey, we're building something special here. Who's got it better than us? All that crap. And it's like, I'm sorry. At some point in time, you have to go, it's not working. It's not working. Hey, Al Avila, guess what? Everybody's been telling you how you're doing this thing the right way. When are we going to see results, Al? Just asking. When you could spend money, you made horrible signings. When you traded huge players, stars, what did you get back in return? Don't worry, he's doing it the right way. Look at all our prospects. It's insanity to me. And it's like, I'm not trying to pick at people, but Jim Harbaugh's been good. He's been good.
He's been good.
He's been good.
He's been good.
He wasn't hired to be good. He was not hired and paid what he's been paid to be good. And when you say who's got it better than us, I'm going to laugh at you.
Do you think they still have faith in him?
I don't.
If you think that, why do you think they gave him another contract?
I think. Do you know what that contract is? Do you know what that contract is? We both are stuck with each other, and this is a contract. And what makes me say this is the buyout. Okay, this is a contract that if something better comes along for you, Jim, in the next couple of years, take it. That's what that contract screams. Nobody wants to say it, but that's what it screams.
I think this contract is going to hold Jim Harbaugh to a certain standard. And what I mean by that is the incentives that they put into the contract. And he's still going to get paid what he's got paid, but he has to show progress.
That's exactly it.
He has to show progress.
So would you agree with me this is not a long-term contract? This is not a long-term contract.
No, but if he plays well, and he get those incentives,
then maybe it turns into a long-term.
It turns
contract.
into a long-term, and so that's what this
and
contract
I think that's
is.
fair.
It's beyond fair.
I think that one man's opinion. Now, this is an opinion. I'm not speaking factually here. Okay, I think that they're both sitting back saying, "Yeah, let's do this a couple more years, and then we'll move on." That's one man's honest opinion. The way that looks to me.
Yeah.
And then we'll all sit back and quite frankly, all the people who have yelled at me the last couple of years, they won't tell you that you were right about Jim Harbaugh. What they will do instead is say everything that you said for the last 2 years. Because you know how it is in this business. Nobody can tell you were right. Nobody. No, you can't say that. And that it's depressing to me. But, I mean, that's like Kevin said.
Why is it depressing to you, though?
Because if I'm wrong, let me be the first person to say it. Joik, I was wrong, dude. Joik, you nailed it. My bad. You thought the Pistons were closer. I thought the Pistons were 3 years away. I'm glad you know what and that's I think that's part of the thing that ticks you guys off in the media. And I don't blame you for that. It's really simple, my job, okay? Joik, if you have a good game, I have to say you had a good game, okay? Period. Okay. If you had a bad game, don't get pissed at me when I say you had a bad game. Joik had 2 fumbles. Joik you can't put the ball on the grass, man. You cannot do that, okay?
Are you talking about that Philly game? So are you going back? Are you throwing out? Are you jabbing at me right now?
No, but do you know what people say? People, you're turning on your boy Joik. No, I'm doing my job. I love Joik. Yeah. He's a great human being. He does so many good things, but I also have a job to do.
You know what? One thing that I like about you is that you can be professional, right? But you can still do the hard. You can still do the hard part. You can have those hard talks. Sometimes it doesn't make you a bad father when you got to sit down and have that hard talk with your son.
No,
you got to have that hard talk with them. That actually makes you better at your job. That makes you a better father. That makes you better at your job when you do that.
You know what's awesome? That you just said something, and my son, I talked to him Tuesday night, and it was so cool that he said this to me. The COVID stuff, okay? It was difficult. We were maybe 2 weeks in, and there was tension in our house. And I may or may not have told you this. I had to sit down with him, and I told him, I said, son, this can go 2 ways. And it wasn't yelling. It wasn't, I said, son, there are 2 ways that we can all take this. We can all enjoy the time that we have together, and we can try to make the best out of what is a messed up situation, or we can all walk around the house and be annoyed by each other. And if one of us is annoyed, that brings up the temperature of the entire house. I said, it's totally your choice. I get it. You don't want to be here. I wouldn't want to be here if I was 20 years old. I wouldn't want to be here. But that's where we can go with this. Joik, it was the most crazy, blessed 6 months I think we've ever had. It was awesome. And he called me the other day.
What did you learn about your family during that 6 months?
How much we love each other. You know, but you don't know. Does that make sense? I know that sounds cheesy. It was how much love and support and because it was full of downtime like everybody else. There were, I lost a job during it. One of my jobs that I have, I lost a job, And like my family being there was just awesome. It was awesome. And so my son called me out of the clear blue sky the other night, and he was like, Dad, that was really cool. I just wanted to call you. That was really cool how you said that to me. And he was like, you talk to me like an adult. And I go, well, you are an adult. Right. And he was like, no, I appreciated that. But it was like you said, it was the real talk conversation.
You got to have those.
You
have to have those. So I had that hard talk with my son too, because he went up for the basketball team this upcoming year. And he didn't make the team. So I said, son, now, are you ready to start doing things that way? He said, I'm ready, Dad. He said, I'm ready. I said, are you ready to start this training? Are you ready to start it? He said, yeah. Like, now, when you train with Dad, right, I'm not Dad. Yeah, Dad, I know. And that's one reason I never liked training my son when it came to football. I never wanted, if my son wanted to play football, I wasn't going to deny him. If I had to choose a sport for him to play, I would say probably play baseball or football. I mean, not football, but basketball or baseball. When he was younger, I would make him throw with his left and right hand, because if he was a pitcher, I wanted to have some junk. All right, I wanted to have some junk. So I would make him throw with his left hand. And so now he throws with his left hand, but he writes with his right, and that's where that came about. But I never want to take that tension that we have when we're training. I don't want to bring that back home. I want to leave that on the field. Let me leave that let me get you a trainer that I trust. I'm going to let you work with him. So when we go home, I can just be Dad, and there's no hostility. It's to the point to where he brings his TV, his video game in my man cave, and when I'm playing Call of Duty, he's sitting right next to me playing Call of Duty on his.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
You
had to bring that up.
Don't do it.
Hey, Art, hey, raise your hand. So, you love that too, don't you? You love it. It's so nonchalant too, right? That's what you love about it. It's just so nonchalant.
It's part of conversation.
It's part of conversation.
It is. That's the best part.
Yeah, but you know what though? We're getting some traction now. We get some traction. So we'll see what happens. Is that a flat tire or something? A flat tire?
I just blew a tire on my bike.
Blew a tire on my.
No, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think sometimes people, and we've talked about this before, I think sometimes people have a difficult time separating the two. I can still be a fan of Joik Bell, but not be a fan of his performance that day. I can still be a fan of Mark D'Antonio, but disagree with that call.
Well, yeah, because why would you want to be a fan of Joik Bell's performance when it comes to Call of Duty? I mean, let's be honest. Who wants to be a fan of that?
I'm sitting at home last night, and you guys aren't going to believe this. I'm watching hockey, and I see all this stuff start on social media, and it really is a get your popcorn moment. Art's like chirping at Darius Slay and Bentley, and he's chirping at all these guys, and like it's that rabbit hole that we talk about.
Jamal, he's at Jamal Agnew, just chirping.
Jamal's the man, because Jamal actually accepted the challenge, and you did too. I'll give you credit, but your boy Darius Slay, you got to get him. What is he? He's got a diva NFL competition that day or something. Who could be the biggest diva? I mean, come on.
What are you talking about?
You were all set and ready to go.
We're ready to go. But I need you to understand, man. I need you to understand that when these people are coming to play us, right? Like,
I'm somebody special, though.
No, you're not. No.
I'm 2-0 against you. I'm somebody special.
And I'm 2-0 against you.
So then let's seal the deal and get it done. Just tell Darius you got his number. I mean, we had him on the show. He was all about that life, and now guns come out, and he's, I don't want to play.
Look at Bill Bentley. Yes, sir. It's going down. Bill showed up.
Yes, sir. Like, Bill knows
shout out to Bill
down.
Bentley. Shout out to Bill Bentley.
Hey,
it took him to get Darius to, acknowledge my godliness. So,
godliness.
Come on, man.
You know what's crazy for Art? I promise you, listen, Shai, if the way that Art is talking now, you would think that he is like the man.
I'm the man at multiplayer.
He's trash.
I'm the man at multiplayer.
No, you're not the man. You're always the last person.
11.
You're always the last person.
Art, I'm going to ask you something.
No, that was 1 versus 1. That's not multiplayer.
That's what I'm saying. 1 versus 1 and multiplayer.
Multiplayer, you trash.
We had some glitches.
Art, let me ask. I'm going to ask you like real talk, okay? Mm-hmm. Are you just a piece of a team? Or are you a prominent piece of the team?
That's like asking Joik, is he a piece of the Detroit Lions or is he just Joik Bell?
Joik Bell was a piece of the Lions, okay? A prominent piece of the Lions would be Calvin Johnson.
Yes.
A prominent piece of the Lions would be Matthew Stafford.
I could do 1v1 versus
that's one. But what do you do when you get into a team setting? You suck.
I help my team.
No, you don't help your team.
Grow.
No. They don't.
I can't be the quarterback and take all the glory.
No. You heard he said, "I help my team grow." They carry you. They even called you trash.
They carried me to a 2-0 victory.
His whole team called him trash. You hear me out? Listen to me, Sean.
Did they really?
No, they would never do that. They would never do that. They would never do that. They would never do that.
You are a liar.
They would never do that.
And the truth is not in you.
They are where they're at.
That's what we
because
said
of
at
me.
church. You're a liar. The truth ain't in you. The devil is a lie.
So what's the date? I mean, we're coming up on
The
24
devil is
hours.
a lie. Art, you sit behind there and you work the ones and twos. You're not allowed to talk on this show anymore if you can't tell the truth. The truth will set you free. It's to set you free. Anyway, back to it.
That's a smart general manager, though, right? You know what? I'm going to get the best team around, and that's how I'm going to operate. So is it safe to say that Art's like a general manager?
I'm a great general manager.
He's a good general manager.
Shows up.
Right, he's a good general manager. Right, I'm a good general manager.
No, you're not, because your team doesn't show up. Where's
team
Darius
wins.
at? Where's Jamal?
My team wins.
Who's your team?
We haven't done it.
Who's your team? Give me your team.
I got Solo. I have Solo. No. He's talking about my NFL team.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about your.
No. He's talking about my NFL team.
Okay.
Like he's talking about. But understand, me and Slade, Jamal Agnew, we never played together before. We were just gonna come together just to smack him.
But it'll never happen.
But my team, when we smacked them, when we had like over 2 million on plunder.
He's talking about one game. We played like 7 games altogether. He won 1.
I won.
Oh, you won 2. We played like 7.
No, we played 4. We played 2 multiplayer. We did 2.
And we tied.
So how's that 7? Liar,
I'm still
and the
2-0
truth's not in
against you, though, individually. General manager versus general manager.
Kevin, I want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
He can't handle the truth because Art's not going to give it.
You got a date for me yet, Joik? Just tell me yes or no.
Yeah, we can play tonight.
We'll do it on Twitch.
Is it going down?
Yeah, we can play tonight on Twitch.
It's going down?
Tell Darius to get his little, his nice little outfit on and make sure the camera's all adjusted properly. Get his makeup on.
Get it. You do your job. You get us the information. You give me the details we need.
Okay.
Me, because I'm going to check my phone at 2:30 p.m. sharp. We better have all the details. All of the details, Artemis
Tonight,
Smith.
9 o'clock, done deal.
I listen.
He's not Arthur. He's Artemis until he beats my squad and plunder.
There's nothing better, Art, than when you go into your imitations and like you do these things with. I got to get my shirt. I got to make sure I look and you throw your hands out. I appreciate that so much.
Make sure you clean your glasses too.
Tonight at 9 o'clock, yes or no?
8:30.
You know what I want? I want a put up or shut up moment. Is there any way we can finally put this to bed?
Yeah, let's be done with this. I got diapers to change. My kids are sitting there in diapers like, Dad, when are you going to change me? I'm like, oh, Uncle Joik's acting up again. I got to take care of him. Sorry, can't feed you. Got to take care of Uncle Joik. Oh, nope, Darius can't make it.
You hear that? He's not even changing diapers.
What he doesn't understand, I'm trying to help him feed him. I'm trying to get you some more notoriety. So
you haven't put any money on this. We can put some money on it. We can't. Never mind. We can't.
I'm really about to go
Absolutely
get the killers.
not.
I'm really about to go get my killers now. I'm really.
Uncle Baligian, I need a couple bucks from you.
Hey, now, but listen, we're not playing on PCs. No PC. We're playing on the system. On the count. We're playing on the console, not on PCs.
Art, you don't want that.
No, it doesn't. That's not the rules that
he's going to put an all-star team together.
No, I'm saying that it shouldn't be console system, whatever.
Do you want me to bring
PC.
Solo? Do you want me to bring Solo back out? Do you want me
to bring Quantum back out and Flake?
You can bring them both, but listen, when you bring them, they got to play on console. They can't play on PC.
They don't have consoles. They had PCs.
That's not fair.
You can't make up the rules as you go, Joik.
Well,
then let's just do me and you 1v1.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, it got quiet.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask it again.
Let me do you 1v1. We can do that too, but let me ask you this question, and you be quiet so I get this. I get it out there. Okay. Are consoles faster than PCs? Yes or no?
Are consoles faster than PCs?
Yes or no? As far as reaction.
Tonight at 8:30, we'll find out.
No. Yes or no? And be honest with the fans. Yes or no?
I can't share that information.
Exactly. Are PCs faster than consoles? Yes or no?
I don't have a PC. I have a system, and I beat you in at 30-11. That's all that I know.
Yeah, we both on console.
Right. So we can run that back again. We can do 1v1s until we're 90, Joik. Tell Darius I want to play against people who think that they're good. Me and you know where we're at level-wise. We're very competitive with each other.
I would kill you in multiplayer. You beat me in 1 versus 1. Because my reaction time on my gun is way slower than yours.
Okay, so then why don't we do you, Jamal Agnew, Darius Slay, me, and 2 of my players? We'll do 3v3 multiplayer. No plunder, no PC. No collecting cash. I want kills.
You get kills too. You get kills and you get.
Right, but I'm saying
you, take
I
your
want
money.
3v3
I'll kill you, take your money, take your girl. What you want? Take your dinner, take your breakfast.
You ain't taking nothing from me.
Take my nieces and nephews out for breakfast.
You're not taking nothing from me.
They don't want to come back home.
You're not taking nothing from me.
Tell me you guys wouldn't watch this. I would watch this. This is something I would sit at home. I would watch this.
Telling the truth. PCs are faster. So James, listen to me. Kevin, listen to me. All his players have PCs. All of my people play on console. So they still barely beat us. Barely. Imagine they put them on console. It wouldn't be close. I'm sorry. Let's get back to sports.
Everybody's got
Let's get back to sports.
Excuses.
All right, let's get back to sports. Let me grab my pen. I threw it. Arguing with Art.
That's all right. That's quite all right. What we were going to talk about,
Matt? You're standing right in the middle of the camera.
I wanted that. Did you get the jacket? Did you get the jacket?
Stafford's giving back one more time. I know you wanted to hit on that.
I definitely want to hit on that. So, and people don't understand. So he's given $1 million to build momentums to finish out this project where they're going to help over 300 kids a day in this learning environment. I like that. It just ran across my screen. I like that. But he's done this before. He already has a facility that he's helped build that is like a multi-purpose facility where kids can come up. They can have 707s. They can have soccer tournaments. They can have different things. And it's a nice venue. It's a very nice venue. And I've been there a couple times.
He's done a lot of stuff with Mitch Albom and Say Detroit.
Yeah.
That.
So I've even been there where my nephew came from Grand Rapids. And he's actually my little cousin, but he always calls me Uncle Chuck. I don't know why. But he comes up, and his school has a tournament in a 707 tournament right there at that multi-purpose facility. He's been doing this in the community for years, right? And it's really talked about because he's never been about that. He's never been about notoriety. He doesn't want to be in the limelight. He just wants to do what he feels is best for the community. And that's what I want people to understand what Matthew Stafford was to this community, to this team. Tough as nails, but has a heart of gold. Volunteering and adopting families that is going through hardship in the holidays, donating funds, giving out scholarships. He's one of a kind. You can't replace a guy like that.
He is. I'm going to say it again. I'm sure people have heard by now. Philanthropist, and he is just tough as nails. Like the stuff he played through last year, his thumb. The thing with his elbow, I forget what the exact term is called. You could probably tell us, Joik. Where he said, that's why I wore a sleeve on my, we heard it in the Thanksgiving game against Houston. And the next month of the year, he had to wear a sleeve to cover up how his left arm was so bandaged and everything. Just tough as nails. He is never, ever going to get the credit that he deserves in this town. It's never going to happen. And like give it up. Like it's. And I appreciate you sticking up for your guy and know that I agree with you.
Yeah.
But you know as well as he's never going to get the credit and that makes me sad. Matthew Stafford was – I remember I told you this. I had this conversation with somebody, a writer in this town, and I'm not going to say who got along very well with Joey Harrington back in the day. And I was very anti-Joey Harrington. He sucked. Right. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It wasn't he's good. It wasn't he's not good enough. He was just bad. And this writer told me, this was a private conversation. That's why I hope you guys can accept this. I'm not going to share with who it was. But he said to me, we shouldn't be so quick to run good guys out of town. And I said, well, this guy is a really good guy, and he's done a lot of good things in the community. But Mother Teresa is a wonderful human being, and I don't want her as a quarterback of my team. Right? This isn't that, okay? This isn't. Matthew Stafford was, I'm going to say it again, he was a darn good quarterback.
Fastest quarterback in NFL history to 40,000 yards passing.
He's never going to get his due here. You know it as well as I do, and that makes me sad because I think he was the personification of a guy that did just about all he could to help this team win, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I feel bad because I don't think he's ever going to get the props for being the good dude that he is.
Because it's about pieces. It's about having all the right pieces in at the right time. Because the window in the NFL is that big. Everything has to, and everything doesn't have to be perfect. But when you're on the field, you just know you have to beat the guy in front of you.
Yep.
When you look up, I don't care if we beat you by 1 point or we beat you by 50. A win is a win. All right. And so when you have a quarterback coming in like Matthew Stafford, you have to make sure you have the right quarterback coach in there. You have to make sure you have the right wide receiver coach. You have to make sure you have the right head coach. You have to make sure you have the right GM. You have to to bring in the pieces that we need in order to make this team, and not only the team but him, successful. We weren't able to do that here in Detroit.
Yeah,
and it's sad. It's sad to see a great talent like Matthew Stafford or Calvin Johnson or a Ndamukong Suh or a Golden Tate, a Reggie Bush, a Glover Quinn, a Racine Mathis, these type of guys to leave here and have nothing to show for it.
It's funny. Kevin brought it up. Captain Checkdown. That was Joey Harrington. I actually was the guy that gave him the nickname that stuck, Joey Blue Skies. That was my thing, and it was funny to me. That's a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. I would say for 2 years, people killed me because I just said, guys, this isn't the guy. This isn't the guy, and it was no surprise that, he didn't last much longer in the National Football League because, Joik, as I've heard you say 100 times, guys in the league know if you can play, okay? This is a guy that went to Miami. That job fell into his lap. He couldn't even beat out Cleo Lemon.
No.
Then he couldn't even stay in Atlanta as a backup. It's just so 2 years later when the guy's out of the league, it's just like, what are we talking about here? But you know what it comes down to, and this is where I have to leave the fan at me at home. I want to believe this is the guy. I want to believe that this is but trust me when I say this, if 2 years from now I'm excited about the Lions' direction because I think the first step of rebuilding is admitting that it's needed. Okay, I really do. I think that's the first step. Okay, if 2 years from now we're sitting here and the Lions went through 2 crap seasons, like the last couple of seasons, and we're sitting here and we don't have a lot of talent, I'm going to go, okay, what happened the last couple of years? And I'm not one of those guys that throw first-round draft picks out. Okay, I'm not going to take the first year of a guy and go, oh, he's such a bust. The Akuda stuff. We've heard that time and time again. But if 2 years from now we can agree, all right, this doesn't look like it's heading someplace right now, well, we have to have that conversation. Okay, are these guys really the answer? Remember 2 years ago, we were fired up. We were excited. They went out and made deals that made them better. After the last 2 years of going 5-11 and 4-12, and looking what's on the roster right now, did we really upgrade the talent like we should have?
No.
When we have to have that conversation, that doesn't make me a hater. That's just, again, that's a guy that's you have to
we have a lot
job.
of guys on the team that I still associate myself with, talk to, but like you said, we're not doing our job if we're not stating the facts.
Yeah.
And right now, we have a discrepancy when it comes to blue players on the Detroit Lions.
100%.
We do. We don't have those type of players that can be the guy that can go out there and change the momentum of a game with the snap of a finger.
Yep.
We don't have that. And do we have some guys that might be capable of doing that in the future that's already on the team? Maybe 1 or 2. I don't see.
I like two pieces on the offensive line, and I think there's a third. I think Jonah Jackson has a bright future. I really do.
But you know what? But
I like Hawk.
But those are good. Those are great players at their position where they're not. I want you to understand the plays are being made with the ball in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking more so at either the defensive, the rush, the front four. I'm looking at the DBs that can make a play where it's 4th and 6, and it's fourth quarter and it's a minute left, and can we make that play? Can we get that PBU? Can we get that pick six? Can we, what can we do? Like, do we have that receiver when it's 4th and 6 and 30-some seconds left when we got to go make a play? Do we have that type of guy? Do we have that running back that can make that play? I
like DeAndre.
Huh?
I like DeAndre.
I like DeAndre, but
he's a piece.
He's a piece.
Yeah. You brought up Flowers. I think that's a great example. Do you know why I don't include Trey Flowers in this mix?
Why?
Is he an impact player today? Absolutely. My jaw would be on the floor if he was here 2 years from now. Does that make sense? My jaw would be so when the Lions are ready to get good, if you listen to what they're saying 2-3 years from now, okay? My jaw would be on the floor if Trey Flowers was here 2-3 years from now.
Somebody said our biggest playmaker right now that I have to say will probably be somebody said putting down Don Mulbach. That was good. I'll probably say Prater. Prater's probably our big, and that's true. Who would be a bigger player or a bigger impact player than Matt Prater right now?
I had a great argument with my former friend Tom Kowalski. He passed away. He's always going to be my friend. But we had a big argument about who the Lions player of the decade was between 2000 and 2010. We had a great argument about it. Yeah. And in his mind, he said, I can't give it to Calvin because we only had a couple of years. And I said, I agree with that.
A couple years?
Yeah. And do you know what my response was? I said, only the Detroit Lions could say their player of the decade was a kicker. Jason Hansen was the player of the decade. And it was so funny.
In the past 10 years?
No. 2000 to 2010.
Oh, okay.
2000. And it was so funny because his initial reaction was like, you're out of your mind. You're insane. You're crazy. You're crazy. And then, it was funny. After he started to think about it, he started laughing. He goes, I hate you. And I go, why? And he goes, because I can't make an argument for anybody else. I mean, that's how bad the franchise was during the decade of despair.
Because how many years?
You had a couple prime years out of Porsche. You had a couple prime years out of Porsche. You had a couple prime years out of Calvin before he really turned into Megatron, right? So can you say over the whole, who was their best player of the decade? It was Jason Hansen. That's how bad that franchise was. And, Oz Hakeem, he screwed around. Dre Bly had a couple years. He had a couple years.
You went with Dre Bly?
But at the end, if you're talking about the whole decade.
Ryan Rice?
Jason Hansen was the player of the decade.
Ryan Rice? You want to put Ryan Rice?
Well, I love Ronnie.
Yeah.
This is Jason Hansen.
Yeah.
10 years. Jason Hansen just kept doing Jason Hansen.
What about
things.
for these past 10 years, from 2010 to 2020?
Even with Calvin going after 15, you have to say Calvin.
You have to say Calvin.
You have to say Calvin. You have, right?
Would you put Stafford in that?
I would put Stafford number 2 because the thing that I would say, this would be my separation point. All right? And you tell me as a player if you agree. Matthew Stafford was good. Here, I'm going to read this because Matthew said something like this. I want to go back to his comment. A lot of useless yards, but he was a good quarterback. Not great, but good. I mean, we had pieces at times, like when we had the defense. We didn't have the offense at the time. We both agree with that. But when he had a good offense, we never had a defense, and they just weren't able to put it all together. Here's the difference to me, Joik, between Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. Matthew Stafford was good. I think we can all agree on that. Calvin Johnson was great and the best player at his position for a period of time. And that's my differentiation point. That's it. Calvin Johnson was the best wide receiver in a period of years. And I don't think that can be argued or debated. Nobody was ever going to say Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback in the NFL. So does that logic make sense? That's why I say Calvin. Calvin Johnson was the best player at his position in the National Football League. Here, no disrespect to Julio or anybody. Calvin Johnson was the best.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson was the best respectfully. Hall of Famer. Now, my question to you, you said no disrespect to Julio. No disrespect. Is Julio first ballot? Is Julio first ballot? Be honest. You give it to Calvin, and Julio's right up there with him.
He's right there.
He's right there.
He's right there. If not first, second. Would I vote for him first ballot? Yes. Yes, I would.
Who's in there right now, and he's still hatching out his stone. He's not, he's still putting his signature in that cement. It's not dry yet. And so I think when it's all said and done, you got Larry Fitz. He's going to be a first ballot. How do we not put Julio in there? How do we not? The type of numbers the only quarterback wide receiver duo to have more catches and more targets than Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson was Julio Jones and Matty Ice. Only duo.
Doesn't Matt Ryan leave you something to be desired? Like he's kind of that, he's good, he's had great moments, but there's something missing with Matt Ryan with me. I don't know what it is.
What's the difference between Matt Ryan and Matthew Stafford?
Playoff wins. Getting to a Super Bowl.
All right.
I think they're so eerily similar. It's insane. I really do. Yeah.
Their career.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the playoff wins, I would say that Matt Ryan is having a better career than Matthew Stafford. But when you look at their productivity and kind of what they're that great quarterback that just can't get it done.
And they both kind of roller coastered a little bit. They both roll it, down and then up and then down and then really up and things like that. Yeah, it's interesting.
Very similar. Very similar.
Hey, start a new career in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. So what's your take on this situation with Urban Meyer and Coach Doyle? Because this is interesting. And again, I'll play the old man in the room. There was a time where things like this used to be glorified, and it's not glorified any longer. And we'll get into that.
Yeah. We'll get our take when we come back after this break. Baligian Bell here.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Hi, how are you? All right, so in case you missed it, there is some controversy. Joik, I want to get your take on the latter part of this in particular. So Urban Meyer has been taking some heat because he hired as his director of sports performance a guy that it is being accused he told his players he would purposely step on players' fingers during warm-ups and workouts. In particular, Terrence Pryor opened up about how Doyle confronted him about quitting football as he rehabbed an injury. Those are things that happen in the game. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent.
Coaches try to say things to you to get under your skin, to make you say, you know what, I'm just going to play through this to prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a classic example. 2011, I'm playing for the Saints. That punt return that we talked about, I tear my PCL that play. I tried to go back out there for another play. I couldn't do it. I told the coach I couldn't do it. I sit out. I missed the next week. I come back. We actually played the Texans the following week. I missed that game. I'm in the room with this is the cutthroat part about the NFL. I'm in it with the NFL head trainer, the Saints head trainer, Scotty McHottie. I'm in there with the team doctor. It's just us two in there. The doctor looks at my knee and says, you're going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Do not touch the field until I see you next week. I said, okay, no problem. The trainers are sitting right next to me, arm's length, arm's reach. Very next day, I suit up for practice. They have me going through individual. I'm thinking, like, why am I going through individual? But I'll go through individual. Go through that. Where we go to team run. The running back coach said, hey, Joy, go get a play. I said, huh? He said, go get a play. So I kind of hesitantly go out there on the field. They hand me the ball off, and I kind of fall down right at the O-line. I can barely walk. I'm like, why am I out here? I come back. I tell the coach, like, he asked me, he said, why did you look at me like that when I told you to go out there? I said, because I'm not supposed to be practicing. The doctor told me last night that I shouldn't be on the field until I see him again next week. He said, oh, Scotty said you can practice. Don't worry about it. I'll tell the head coach you don't want to practice. And that's the type of games they play. I go to the head trainer. I pull him to the side. I said, did you tell the coaches that I can practice? Did you tell them that? You know what he says? You know what he tells me? Oh, yeah, I did. I tried to find you this morning to tell you. Let me go find him and let smooth this over. So he runs over to my running back coach and tells him, I didn't tell him that he can practice. I apologize. It's not his fault. But you was just in the room with the head doctor telling you that I'm not supposed to be on the field. Telling you. So you go behind his back, don't tell me anything, and go tell the coaches to save your butt, right? To save your, and he's already had some heat on him because he took a pay cut, which lowered the pay for the other trainers around the NFL. So they was already hot with them, right? The NFL was, the other trainers. And I'm like, wow, this is what the NFL really was. So I said, listen, it's cool, it's fine, because I know that if I don't play, I'm not going to make the team. So give me a compression sleeve, give me a knee brace, and I'll play the last 2 games. And you know how that ended. Led the team in rushing and receiving on one leg.
Tell him.
You know, so with a tore PCL, can barely walk, led the team in rushing and receiving. The things that I have issue with is what he said about what he told prior, that he suggested that he take up rowing or something, all right? When he was nursing his injury. He said, take up rowing or something before saying, oh, wait, black people don't like boats and water, do they? What? These are the type of people you want to have on your coaching staff? These are the type of people you want representing your organization, your team? You're bringing this guy in? Allegedly. I want to get this. I've had coaches, I played and had coaches call black players monkeys.
Are you serious?
No, you think across Yelp, and they had to apologize to the team.
Are you serious?
I'm not, and I'm talking about like screaming across the field. Somebody wasn't on the field. We were doing every Saturday we'll have a depth chart walkthrough. Whole team stands on the sideline. Give us the one kickoff. Give me the 2 kickoff. All right. Eric Berry's down. Who's his sub? Who's his sub if he's down? One player did not run out there because he either didn't hear the coach say the person's name whose sub he was supposed to go in for. Because when somebody goes down, you have to know who you're subbing for. You have to know who the backup is. This guy wasn't out there for a particular depth on, I believe, I'm not going to say what it was, kickoff or punt return or kickoff, but he wasn't out there, and he was going through, he had tipping on the field. Da-da-da! You monkey, get over here! And the whole team, what? He lost the locker room. He got fired. He got fired after that season. He was gone. And got another job on another team somewhere else. I'm not going to say who it was.
It's fine.
But that will never be allowed.
See, we have to call things like that out.
We call it out.
Like seriously, you have to tell people that's bad. Like, we shouldn't have to tell people that's bad, but we have to tell people,
that was horrible.
That's bad.
And so he came back the following day and put the whole like that particular group together and said, listen, I said this yesterday, but you guys have been playing for me long enough. You guys know that I'm not that type of person.
Boy,
it just we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. You said what you said. You said what you said. And if you're standing here, you're standing at home. That doesn't just slip out of your mouth.
No, I'm with you.
That doesn't just slip out of your mouth. What? What?
I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
a shame. What a shame.
You know how we did that season? 4-12. Yeah. Now
my brain's.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to leave it alone.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Yeah. So I say all that to say this would never be allowed ever. That and this is not nothing against Urban Meyer, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing against him. But if that's not a deal breaker for you, do you know
what I would chirp at you?
What?
As you, I would consistently refer to you as D2 or Wayne State. I would consistently refer to you as D2 or Wayne State. That's how I try to get under your skin. Hey, Wayne State, you better pick it up. Hey, D2, that's not how we do things at this level. That's what I would chirp at you, and I'm doing that to tell you, hey, guess what? I need more out of you. You know, knowing you, I know you're going to use that as fuel. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Coach would never have to take. First of all, if a coach ever has to tell you to slow down in practice, that's what you want. If your coach tells you to pick it up in practice, that's what you don't want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coaches had to tell me, hey, Joy, bring it back. Not right now. That's the type of guy I was. You wasn't never going to tell me to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. This guy as well, of course, Coach Doyle came from Iowa. You might recall there was nearly a coup d'etat with Iowa football this year. And it got to the point where he had been on Kirk Ferentz's staff for about 20 years, and Kirk Ferentz had to place him on administrative leave before they finally decided to part ways, and there was a settlement and all that stuff. And, Joik, it's amazing because when you think about it, Iowa looked awful to start the year, and then something clicked with that team, and they finished the year strong. Iowa ended up finishing the year strong. But there were a lot of people out there that thought that Kirk Ferentz, who has done a tremendous job at Iowa, he really has. You know, when you think about what the hurdles that Iowa face, there were a lot of people that thought that he was going to lose his job. And so I think that's what people are saying. Now, wait a second. This was more than just one person saying that he fostered a culture of intolerance and racism. This came from a lot of different players. To me, Joik, whether I know that guy or not, and Urban Meyer's take is, I've known this guy for a long time, going back to my days at Utah. Do you know what I do under a circumstance like that? I look at him and go, dude, I love you. You know, I'll help you out in any way I can. I can't hire you. I can't
do it.
I can't hire you.
You can't do it. You cannot have that stigma brought to your program, and now you're having distraction away from coaching your team. You're having distractions. Now, do I think people can change? Yes, I do think people can change. All right, I do think that people deserve a second chance. All right,
I firmly believe in that.
But when you're going into a program or to a franchise that is going to need a lot of work, and in the league where 70% is made up of African Americans or minorities, and you're bringing this guy into a team to where this is out. You think the people are going to respect him? You think these players are going to respect him? You think they're going to look at him and say, we want to play for him? Right? You really think that, right? And so it comes in, well, just do your job. No. We're past that, just do your job.
Can I ask you something? I'm gonna play a hypothetical, okay? So I'm Coach Doyle. I just got hired, all right? I walk into the room. I walk into the running back room. And you and a bunch of your teammates are in there, African American or otherwise. And I say to you guys, I know you've heard some things, okay? There are some things that I can own that I'm not proud of, but there are other things I can't own. If you guys want to know exactly what happened, I'm willing to tell you. Did I make the comment about the boat? Yes, I did. That was insensitive. Sorry. Like, I should know better than that. There are some other things that I said that are being reported I did not say. I'm looking you right in the eye. I'm telling you, Joyke Bell, I did not say that. I didn't do it. Did I make the comment about the boat? Yeah. Am I guilty? Did I stomp on a player's foot? Yeah. Stupid moment and all that stuff. Can we move past that? Is that something that, can you move past that? Or is there too much water under or over the bridge, as it were, at that point in time? Can you give that guy a shot in that regard? Because a lot of this is he said, she said stuff. You know what I mean? But if he comes and mans up like that and goes, I made that comment about black guys in boats.
No, listen, man, no player's going to come out and lie. It's no...
Yeah, what do they get out of that?
No, what do we get out of it? We're not about to sit here and lie on you.
So you're not buying it at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm not buying it.
But then why is he
do your job?
I'm not telling you you're wrong either. I hope you know that.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm gonna come in. You keep your distance from me. You tell me what I need to do on the field. What I got to do. Don't try to pep me up. I don't need your pep talk. I don't need that. Tell me what I need to do on the field. I'm not playing for you. I'm gonna play for the head coach, right? I'm gonna do my job for the head coach because I might play for him. But even then, I'll have words with the head coach. Like, why is he on the staff? Why would we bring him on? And that's if I'm that caliber player to where I can, if I'm on the Lions, we brought him in. Like, I'm going to Coach Caldwell and say, Coach Caldwell, or asking the gym, like, why did we bring him in? And we know what he represents. Like, why would we bring him in here? Why do we need these distractions? They might tell me to piss off and go, but they wouldn't. Could they respect me enough?
Players?
Hold up, Art. Go ahead, Art.
Thanks, Joyke. Really appreciate it. Trying to have serious conversation. You just gotta. Do you think that other players will say something with Doyle being, or will it just be don't say anything? Do
you have certain players that will say something, but you have to be that caliber type of player. You have to have some type of respect with that organization. When you're doing a rebuild, how many guys there that you say is the blue player that is going to go out there or go upstairs and have that conversation with the front office? Who's going to do that? If anything, I'll go to the owner because the owner is really involved with the teams. I'll go talk to the owner. Like, why is
I just don't understand why Urban
that
would
happened one time. Do you know why I'm giggling? And I don't know, and I'm not going to tell you the circumstance. I'm just not. But it happened one time in my career where there was somebody who was such a cancer in the building that literally the entire staff, except for one person, went up to the boss and said, you have to do something about this. Like, you have to. And they didn't. But it was.
What team?
It was in my business. I'll just leave it at that.
I'm asking. It was in your business. Or was it in a professional?
It was a professional. It was professional. It wasn't a team. It was.
No, he's talking about it in like his business.
Oh, yeah, in media. Oh. But there was somebody that was like such a cancer that literally every person on the staff except for one, and I'm not trying to sound like a goody two shoes. I didn't go. I didn't go to the meeting. In my mind, if everybody else is saying it, why do I have to be there? I just didn't. I didn't feel comfortable doing it.
You didn't have a spine for it.
No, I didn't. And my boss said, "Why didn't you show up?" And you know what I said? I said, "Why do I have to show up if everybody else feels the same way?"
It's just like, you know what though? It's like saying, "Why I gotta show up and play today if the rest of the team is playing?"
No, can I tell you why, Joyke? Do you know what it goes back to? It goes back to the comment that you made. It goes back to the comment. I'm going to do my job regardless. I'm going to go there and do my job to the best of my.
I'm going to do my job. You keep your distance.
Well. This was somebody I kept my distance from. I'll leave it at that.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Okay. If the entire Jags organization, all the players, were to go to the owner and say, we do not want him representing us, what do you think would happen, Joyke?
I'll give you a quick scenario. This is actually kind of funny. So I'm not going to say what year because you're going to know exactly who I'm talking about. But I remember we were sitting down. It was me and four other running backs and one fullback. So it was 3 running backs and one fullback. And we're sitting down. At our locker, and this other running back comes up. And he said, listen, guys. Come closer. I need y'all to go upstairs This is how he's talking. I need y'all to go upstairs together. Go to the GM office, go to the head coach office, pull them in there. I need y'all to tell them right to their face, I'm a cancer on this team and they got to let me go. Go upstairs and tell them I'm a cancer and I got to go. I got to leave. I got to get out of here. This is what he said.
They wanted you to tell on him.
He wanted us to go upstairs and say he was a cancer so they can kick him off the team. I'm like, listen, they don't care about my opinion. I can't help you. I can't help you. I like, but they might listen to one of them. They're not gonna listen to me. But if they go, I'll go. But I'm letting you know right now.
All right, see, but here's the difference, and I'll go back to my circumstances. You know who the guy is who was just sitting here thing. It's only one person. I do actually. I know. Yes.
You know exactly.
I'm not going to say who it is.
Give me. I can't even say his initials.
No, don't. We'll talk about it during the break.
Yeah.
Here, this is the difference. Like you said I was spineless, and that's fine.
I didn't say you were spineless.
No, but I understand what you're saying. But here's the difference. Can I tell you? Do you know what my problem is? What? If you have a problem with a man, go talk to the man. That's my problem. This is somebody I had talked to already, and it became crystal clear to me that anything that I said to him wasn't going to resonate. So I went like this.
You wipe your hands.
I did.
Yeah.
I control what I can control at that point in time. So for me personally, my issue was not that those guys all decided that they were going to go to the boss. My issue was, why didn't you go to him? That was my issue.
Oh, they didn't go to him first?
And I'll be completely honest with you.
You should have been the only person that went to the boss because you went to him first.
I'll be completely honest with you. That's my issue to this very day, 13 years later. That there are people that did not go to him and say, dude, like, what's going on? And stuff like that. I was the only guy that did it. So in my mind, why would I go to the boss? I think that's cowardly. That's just my opinion. I think that's cowardly.
That's cowardly.
And the funny thing is the way it can be portrayed after the fact is
cowardly.
I was the guy that had the issue. And it's like, I didn't go to the boss. What are you doing? It wasn't me.
You minded your own.
Yeah,
There was
an important lesson. There was an important lesson to be learned that day. And you know what that lesson was? Shut your mouth and do your job, because you can't trust a mother scratcher.
You can't
really. That was the lesson. That was the lesson that I learned.
You can't
don't care about the whole. Don't care about the whole, because ain't nobody care about you. That's the lesson that I learned that day.
Joey keeps going. You can't what?
You can't trust your mother scratching your head. Okay.
I'm not paying any more money.
But you know what though about trusting?
Stop it.
But same year, 2000 is when I learned I'm on my own right now. Is when I fell asleep in that players lounge that they have now removed from the Lions locker room, where I had about 10, 12 teammates around me taking a nap, and everybody woke up and not one person. Come on, Joe, we got a meet.
Sorry, you learn the hard way, and it's like
it only takes one time, though.
You learn the hard way, and that's the way it is. You think you're doing the right thing, and you didn't do the right thing, and that's fine.
I've learned that.
I've
learned that working here.
If I had to do it all over again 13 years ago, I'd do it the exact same way. Yeah. You know what I always say? I sleep well at night. Yeah. I sleep very well at night. How's your sleep?
I'm not sleeping too well.
I'm not talking to you. Bitch.
Who you talking to?
Sean's
somebody out there.
Sean's calling him out.
Somebody out there in the.
It's a spicy Friday.
Somebody out there.
Friday, everybody. Friday.
Hey, football has come to an end, and if you're like me, you might be wondering what's next. That's why I like my bookie, because no matter the sport or season, you can always win big now. I'm talking nonstop action, 365 days a year. Choose from thousands of lines on the NBA, NHL, UFC, and more. Winning never ends when you play at MyBookie. They truly have something for everybody, and absolutely nobody does prop bets like MyBookie. You can get action in on everything from celebrity divorce to the winner of the All-Valley Karate Tournament. Yes, you can really bet on that. March Madness is right around the corner, so start building your bankroll. Do yourself a favor. Get a head start. Sign up today with promo code Woodward and get your first deposit match halfway up to $1,000. That's free cash credited to your account instantly on top of your deposit. The best part is you always have access to the action, whether you're at home or on the go. Visit mybookie.ag today and use promo code Woodward to grab yourself a deposit bonus. Bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie. We'll come back, wrap it up on a Friday. Still a lot of things to get into. Glad you can join us. He's Joik Bell. I'm Sean Baligian. This is Woodward Sports.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
This is one of the strangest weekends of the year, Joik. Can I tell you why?
Because it's Valentine's Day?
Is it? No, this is one of my strangest. Jenna asked a great question. Does my bookie have a bet for Joik and Art on COD? Oh, we got to get some. Can we think of some lines and figure out how to do something like that? That's a great idea,
Art gets
Jenna.
over 500 million kills on Joik, yeah, we could do something like that.
No, do you know why this weekend is weird? There's no football game to look forward to. After months and months and months and months and months of, okay, what's going on? Because Joy, like for me, usually I have the double whammy in college football. What game am I calling this weekend? Okay, Wayne State's playing Saginaw Valley. One of 2 times, I might add. Next year, they're playing twice. There's what game am I calling? And then when I'm done with that game, I have to tape the Spartans because they play at noon, and I get to watch Michigan live, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. And, obviously the NFL, oh, cool, what's the Sunday night game when I'm done working the lines? What's the Monday night game? I don't like this weekend. It feels dirty.
You feel dirty?
No, I don't like it.
Why? Because there's no football games?
No.
It wasn't any football games the weekend before Super Bowl.
And I don't like that. That's almost like the trial run. But you have one more game to look forward to. Yeah, it's like the trial run. It's like
a teaser. It's like a teaser for the offseason.
Yeah, and then, so yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what I can't wait for, and I don't know what teams around here are going to do. As I've gotten older, when I was younger, I hated these things. I love spring football games. I love it. Even if it's just a scrimmage, right? The green and gold game, the green and white game, the maize and blue game.
The green and gold. You know what? I think we didn't have that this year.
No.
We didn't have that last year.
I can't wait to get out there and watch it. Like I'm not joking. I can't wait.
I do, man. And I don't want it to be a glorified scrimmage. I want it to be a real deal gold versus black. Gold versus green. That's what I want it to be.
Well, Hillsdale's playing legitimate football games in the spring. They're playing legitimate football games in the spring.
But I know, was it 5 games? Teams are playing 5 games.
Yeah.
So they came out. So my nephew was at Olivet College. So they're supposed to be playing 5 games this spring as well. But it's not going to count toward their eligibility, which is good. Something that the NCAA did very well. If they're not going to count this towards the kids' eligibility year.
And they're playing GLIAC teams, and GLIAC teams are calling them scrimmages. So they're not calling it an official game. They're calling it a scrimmage. So you get on the same field as Hillsdale. Nothing scrimmage about that, man.
It's just
that's a flipping game.
I'm gonna tell you, it's like a team coming, an NFL team coming to another NFL team training camp. Oh. It's going to heighten. Things are going to heighten. But you know what? I've never been able to be a part of that, even though I wanted to, because I love those type of intense practices. I love those. And it's kind of like a snapshot of what you're going to see during the season.
Yeah. I love it. I can't wait. And it's funny. I mean, for me, I have the opportunity to go out. I'm going to go see a couple of high school hockey games this year. I think you guys know I do a lot of that. And, there's obviously the NHL or the NBA or the college basketball that I'm going to watch. But I hate that no football void. I mean, because, even if football isn't your favorite sport, and I know a lot of people out there like me that say as much as I love it, I'm more of a hockey fan. I'm more of a baseball fan. like football really is your whole weekend, and you can't say that about other sports. It's really weird. Football is your whole weekend. Like even when my son and I used to go down to Tiger games all the time, right? We might go down on Friday night. We might go back on Saturday. I was always a guy, I hated going to the Sunday matinee game at Comerica Park. It was always 10,000 degrees, and then we had to stay an hour after the game because, kids run the bases and everything. So I'd put on the smiley face and go, this is great, this is awesome, when I just wanted to be home chilling and barbecuing, on a Sunday afternoon. It's not your whole weekend, you know what I mean? But football is just one of those things. It's all-encompassing for your whole weekend. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Just throw it out there.
Does it change your life at all? You probably have more time now, right?
I have more time now to sit back and kick my feet up and worry about other stuff that's going on.
I need that. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nonstop. It's nonstop, though. It's nonstop. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I love having my hands in the pot. I love being at work at all times. I love being able to get away as well and spend time with the family. And this weekend is more of a family weekend for me.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's good. More of a family weekend.
My brother's in town from Tampa, and so I'm having him and my nephews over for dinner on Saturday. So that's a good thing. There's the pizza place in L-Town. We go to the pizza place in L-Town, and, because they miss it. They're like, oh, okay, Uncle Sean, can you please go to Primo's for us and everything? So I'm like, yeah, you got it. So that's like when they come back once or twice a year, like they're spending some time with my dad because, everything that's going on there. And then we are having, I'm having my brother and his sons over, and it's awesome. You can't put a price tag on that.
You can't. Look at my sister, always working. My sister knows I'm always working, always trying.
And
to
you're
do
always
something.
on time.
Always on time, never late.
I love that video. I'm sorry.
Always on time.
I watch that video. I watch that video and I giggle. I'm like a 5-year-old because like the way that they edit it, where you turn your head and you go, I'm always on time. That's awesome. That was great. Did you edit that, Art?
No.
Justin?
That would be Justin.
Justin edited that?
for it. Yep. Justin's the man.
Amby
Justin
said family is priceless.
He knows
Amen
that.
to
Speaking
that.
of family, we have to have a conversation when I leave work. We got to have that brother-sister powwow.
Is it a good powwow or is it a bad powwow?
Oh, it's a powwow.
Amby, you get on the horn with Grammy Whammy right now and make sure that Grammy Whammy runs some interference. You don't need that.
Grammy Whammy can't save her.
Grammy Whammy can't save her?
Grammy Whammy can't save her.
Really?
Can't save her. No. Grammy. Love you, sis. We got to have a conversation.
I'm scared now.
You know what?
See what Grammy Whammy said? Let us choose to be happy. Yes.
Art, do you have any sisters, brother?
No.
Brothers? Like any siblings?
I've got
you have any
half
siblings?
sisters.
Huh?
I got half sister.
Okay. You have any siblings, Sean?
2 younger brothers.
2 younger brothers. Now, do you have like do you ever have to have those conversations with your younger brothers when you was a little bit younger? Like you just let them do what they
do you know what I would do? Did you ever see Lethal Weapon? Do you remember Lethal Weapon?
I do. I've seen it, but I can't remember.
So at the end of the movie, Mel Gibson and Gary Busey have this like knockdown, drag-out fight on the front lawn, right? It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And they just let him go. And what happens is...
Are they brothers?
No. They were, good guy, bad guy. Okay. But like right before Mel Gibson's getting ready to arrest Gary Busey, he says to himself, "No, arrest isn't going to be good enough for you. I want to kick the bleep out of you," right? And Gary Busey's standing there with the cuffs on, and he's kind of giving Mel Gibson the look, like, "Come on, you know you want it." And Mel Gibson gets that crazy look on his face, and he goes, "You want a shot at the title?" That's what I do to my brothers to this very day. If my brothers get chippy with me, I go full Gary Busey with them. I look at them and go,
I can't do that with my sister now.
You want a shot at the title? And my brothers are immediately done. That's it. So
me
they don't want a shot at the title.
So me and my sister used to fight all the way up until she came back home from college. I had to be a sophomore. And she tried to, this one I yoked up. I was yoked up at the time. And she came back home from Fair State. And she was just egging me on. And so I grabbed her from behind, and she tried to like kick me, and she just fell. I just dropped her. I just dropped her. dropped her. It was, you know, I didn't pick her up. And it was. What the
hell is wrong with you?
And my mom got mad at her. Do you know he is a man? You do never put your hands on that guy. He's not small anymore. You know, and I'm the baby too. So
True story.
My sister knows I'm the favorite. She knows.
Before we say goodbye, listen. True story. This is like the most famous story in our house. My brother and I got into a really big fight one time. I think I was 20, and he must have been 16 at the time. And he took a bat. And hit me in the jaw with a bat.
No.
Yes, he did. He took. Dan, I want you to text Joik later and confess to him that you did that. My mom is watching this. What do you think my mother said? Dan, run. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with my jaw in 17 pieces, and she goes, Dan, run. And I was like, if that doesn't tell me where I am in mom's pecking order, nothing will.
Anyway.
All right, what do you got? What are we throwing out on our Friday?
Oh, yeah, so, again, Black History Month, and we always end the show with a little bit of Black history. And today we're going to do, after the Civil War, with the black man being able to vote and being denied access to vote. So we're going to talk about that today and how we were able to try to overcome it, which eventually we did. So.
Most of us know our country fought a civil war in the 1860s, but less is known about what came afterward, the chaotic, exhilarating, and ultimately devastating period known as Reconstruction. It was a moment of profound change, with promises of citizenship and equal rights for all. One of the greatest achievements of Reconstruction was granting black men the right to vote. In 1867 alone, over 80% of all the black men in the former Confederate states registered to vote. 3 years later, Hiram Revels was elected the first black man to serve in the United States Senate, and Joseph Rainey became the first black United States congressman. Their election paved the way for more than 2,000 black office holders who served at every level of government during Reconstruction.
There are not many moments in recorded human history where a group that was so subordinated would, within the space of a decade, actually be integrated into the highest echelons of political society.
But the momentum wouldn't last. Black men's access to the ballot box, along with other key rights gained during Reconstruction, were rolled back systematically throughout the South. In 1875, near the end of Reconstruction, the 44th Congress included 7 black House members and a United States Senator. By 1900, only one remained, Congressman George Henry White of North Carolina.
By the time George H. White leaves office in 1901, he literally turns the light off on national black political leadership. No one will come behind him for an entire generation.
One of the cruel ironies of Reconstruction is that black people could claim certain rights in the 1870s that they would have to fight to reclaim in the 1960s. A sobering reminder that achievements thought permanent can be overturned and rights can never be taken for granted.